Hello, I'm Greg Rutke Motors, and in today's video we're going to be going to part 2 of my dealership LaserDisc collection. And as we can see here, you can only see about 3 discs, but if I do this, I've got a lot more now. Now, this stack right here are the ones that we had in part 1 up here on my other channel. These are the ones we went through, and it's the stack I've had for like 6 years. Okay, I hadn't touched them. Well, in the last month and a half, I've managed to get more, as we can see here, and these aren't all just GM discs. And this is actually a really neat one we'll go into in the future part of the video. You may have noticed this one looks familiar. This is my second copy of this because the first copy was extremely rotten. And this copy is pretty sick too. We'll go into detail about that too. But this stack right here is videos I've already converted since the last video. And this stack right here just came in the mail today. So we're going to go over these too. And we're going to go over certain things that make these discs unique, and the things that kind of suck about these discs, because a lot of these didn't survive 40 years and are very rotten and useless. So we'll go into a little detail about that too. So let's get to it. Before we get further into this, fun fact, I talked in the previous video, this was my newest GM LaserDisc, and from what I can tell, this was the last GM LaserDisc by numbering and all that stuff, and on the LDDB database, this is the last GM LaserDisc. So yeah, they must have stopped it around late 1987, because I think this was an 87 disc. And it's like the only 88 model year one, other than one that's releasing on March 3rd. That's another 88 model year I have, which we will be talking about in a few minutes. But other than that, this was possibly the last GM LaserDisc ever made. All right, we have you guys back on my chalkboard here. And before we go into the details of these videos, I already put the other stack up, the one from the previous video. So we don't have to go over that again. But before we go over all this, I wanted to talk about this disc. The first one I had was very rotten. This one is, I don't know, I'd rate it about a 7 in quality. It's got about a 4 on rot, 3 or 4. I mean, it plays nearly perfectly, but there's obvious rot. And this is the first video I converted today. It actually came out of this stack here, which is the one I got in the middle of the day. But this is the reason why I bought this stack here, because I want another disc. Well, I only saw one picture of the good side on this. The good side. The bad side is coated in scrapes, and it's really hard to get on video. But as we can see here, it looks like the player ate it. Not my player, someone else's player, yeah. You can see all that. It won't play side 2. But I did manage to get side 1. Wow, it looks like a record now. It's got, you can hear the scratches in it. I might be able to save this side. Ooh, I just scratched the heck out of it with my fingernail. That's probably not good. It's still there. This side might not buff out. Oops. But yeah, this disc is dead on side B. Sadly, it will recognize as a laser disc in the player, but the second it tries to start playing it, it gives up and ejects the disc. So side 2 is dead on this disc, sadly. But let's go over the discs that I have archived so far, and we'll talk a little about each one of them, and try not to make this video extremely long. First off, we've got the 86 product information, Cadillac Insight disc. This is a neat gatefold disc that came with its own brochures and testing questions in the sleeve. Isn't that neat? We've got product training, meeting leader guide, another meeting leader's guide, another meeting leader's guide, and another one. I thought one of these was different. Oh, these are different categories. So we've got the best are even better, Eldorado Seville engineering information, Cadillac Seville, the tradition continues, and 86 Cadillac Eldorado, designed to be driven. Now, I would love this. This is probably would have been one of my favorite discs, but side one is okay. It's got some chips. Disc one, it's got some chips around the edges. Someone dropped it at some point. But it plays. It's got some rot in it. It's warped. It doesn't play all the way through, but it played mostly through, and I managed to save that side. The problem is, disc 2 doesn't even have a sleeve on it, and at first glance it looks okay, but actually it's so rotten you can see through the disc. I can see you right now through the rot in this disc. It looks like the night sky. Let's see if there's any way I can highlight that. Tell you what, let me see if I can find a flashlight. I'll be right back. Well, I couldn't find a flashlight, but I'll post a picture of it. It's a very dead disc. It will not play. I can hold it like this because it's never going to play again unless we can get a old school neon helium laser player that might play it. My player won't even recognize this as a laser disc. That's how bad it is. The lead-in on it is so rotten that it can't see it. And you can see through the lead-in on this disc. It's pretty bad. So this one's dead. So I managed to get half of this gatefold archived, and it played okay. Oh well. This is one of my Chrysler discs. We did a video up here where we opened a bunch of brand new ones. This was a brand new one. And this one plays semi-decently, but this is a Techna disc. And Techna discs have a little problem. And before we get about that, I forgot. This is another unique thing. On disc 1, on this disc, the disc is upside down. The whole disc is actually upside down. I didn't mention this in the previous video, but GM discs are played upside down. Side A is on the side it's labeled as. So this is side A, and it's labeled side A, and that's because industrial players played from the top for GM, and so they made them that way. This disc is labeled upside down. Side A is actually on side B, like a normal laser disc. I thought that was an interesting thing to point out too. But anyway, Techna disc. Any disc made by Techna disc has a 50-50 chance of working and about a 25% chance to actually playing all the way through. Techna disc did not know how to make discs. It's the same for GM discs. It's probably the same for Ford discs. I don't know yet. And I actually do have some. I just haven't played them yet. They came in this stack here. But anyway, this disc played all the way till almost the end. It's slightly warped, and I think that's because it was sealed for so long. As you notice, the cover is warped around the disc. So it was quite obvious this thing would not probably play all the way through, and it didn't. but I got most of it saved. It played pretty nicely considering it's a Techna disc. It didn't have a whole lot of rot, and it didn't have a lot of V-Sync issues. Only center part of one side did it have a little jumpiness. And it didn't play all the way through the end of one side, but the other side played almost all the way through. So it's a Techna disc. Can't do a whole lot. Now this one is one of my favorite discs. It's got a Chevy busting through the Built Ford Tough logo, and it's an 81 truck comparison disc. And sadly, this looks like that 86 disc that won't play for Cadillac. It looks like the night sky. The crazy thing is, and I'll show you a picture of it, the crazy thing is, and this one's actually more obvious, you can see the physical holes in it at certain angles. You can actually see all the way through the disc. I can see right through it right now. And yet, it played almost all the way through on both sides. And usually when the player catches one of these rot holes, it skips like crazy. It didn't even skip. I don't know how this one played, but it did, which was neat. So we'll put this one back. So I managed to archive most of this disc, and I had a new friend from the LaserDisc Libs group, I think that's what it's called, let me borrow the end of one of his sides to finish archiving this one. I didn't get the other side completely archived, but oh well. But this is a neat one. I love the artwork on this one. This one is a 2-disc set, and it played. It didn't play all the way through, but it played. It's not super happy playing, but I got most of it archived on both sides, both discs, and it's an interesting little disc. This one, if you remember from the first video, I had 2 83 passenger car discs. This is the third part to that set. And I've archived it. It came out perfectly. It archived perfectly. This one, this is a fun one that will be coming out in April, I think. It's got a bunch of boring fuel injection stuff on the first half, the first side, and the second side has a Bob and Ray comedy sketch. This is the Cadillac Service Roundtable video disc from 1981. I think this is an 80 production, but 81 model year. And yeah, it played almost flawlessly. There wasn't much of an issue with it. It worked fine. Then we got the Spectrum 80 disc. This is a gatefold, and pretty boring, actually, sleeve-wise. The discs weren't happy. They only played in test mode, and they didn't play all the way through. It's a classic DiscoVision disc. That will be coming out sometime, I think, around in April, too. This one really made me sad, and this one's coming out midway through this month, I think. It might be in 4 or 5 days. This is the 1985 Grand Am disc. And if you look at it, you'll see a shadow in it. This shadow is disc rot all through this side right here. On both sides, the aluminum has gone from chrome to dark gray, and it managed to play until about right here on each side of the disc. The edges are completely gone. I was able to save about 75% per side, and it wasn't beautiful. Lots and lots of rot, lots of audio problems. But it did play, and it's pretty neat. It's even got Hall & Oates on it, which translates into it was copyrighted. But it played up to the Hall & Oates section on side 2. And once it started playing that, it just lost tracking and stopped playing. This one hurt me a lot because I really wanted to see this disc. Luckily, this disc is archived. Now, I just finished actually getting the rip. I did manage to rip this disc, and you'll be amazed when you see what the disc looks like. It wasn't what I'd call salvageable, but I'm still going to upload it to give you an idea of just how bad a disc can be and still play. And it's so bad that the sleeve has rotted around the disc and is now stuck in the sleeve. This disc is so bad that if you hold it just right, you can actually see your hand through the disc. And I can't hold it just right. But trust me, it's bad. You can't actually see through the disc, but you can see shadows through it. And it's a miracle it played at all, but I had to do it in test mode. And we'll put this one off to the side because I'm going to have to fix that. But yeah, that disc, very rotten. You'll see it when I release that video. I show a picture of my hand sticking out of it, and I'll show it right here. It's just done for. This is probably one of my favorite discs now, just because the content on it. This is a whole video disc from 81, another Service Roundtable Cadillac disc, on how to service the Oldsmobile 5.7 liter diesel. And basically, the whole video is talking about all the mistakes they've made and how to fix them. And there's still no guarantee it will work. This is the worst diesel engine ever produced. The most unreliable diesel engine ever. A lot of people say 6.0 Power Strokes are. No. They can be bulletproof. They can be made reliable. 6.4 Power Strokes, really close second to worst. But this takes the cake. This is an awful, awful engine. It's terrible. They came from the factory with giant mistakes in them. And this talks about all the mistakes they made and how to fix them. It's hilarious because they keep trying to sell that it's still a good engine, and it's not. Very unreliable engine. This one was one of the videos one of the discs that we opened up on that short. Factory sealed. Played perfectly on side 1. Side 2 has a bunch of scratches on it, and it won't play the last like 4 or 5 minutes on side 2. I don't know if it was from the factory or if this has been a reseal, but it did appear to be factory sealed, so oh well. But it did play. It just wasn't very happy at the end of side 2. This one. You guys know this one by now. This is the Tim Allen disc. Side 1 is a bunch of understanding the Cadillac and GM warranty system. Side 2 has Tim Allen's, one of his very first acting roles ever was on this disc. And this was recorded in 1983. This is an 83 produced disc. So, you know, he didn't get IMDb credits until 88, I think. So this was one of his first uncredited roles. And then I did find out that there's another GM disc that he was on about 3 years later. I want to try to get. But this has possibly his first acting role ever on it. Pretty neat. Then we got Spectrum 81 by Cadillac. This is an 80 disc, and it played okay. I think one section I did lose a little bit of one side of it, but it played. This is another one we opened up on that short. This is another Chrysler disc, competitive comparison number 2, Voyager versus Lumina APV. It was warped, did not play the very end very well, but played all the way through with some V-Sync issues. And if you notice the rainbow section here, this is actually part of it's actually cut out. It's pretty neat. Look at that. It's cool. This one made me a little ill, but it played all the way through, surprisingly. This one is very obviously rotten, but played. This is the 86 Oldsmobile Par Excellence Information Network disc for the 86.5 Cutlass Sierra Coupe and more. And it basically covers all of the Oldsmobile models on one disc, which is pretty neat. And then we got this was another one from that short, another Chrysler disc, Chrysler Plymouth competitive comparison for Acclaim and the New Yorker Landau. Played okay. Wasn't much of an issue on that one. This one goes with this one. Okay. This one might look familiar, but if you notice, I have a little label right here. This isn't what it says on the sleeve. This is the GM 380 disc, Selling Skills Library Intro and Greeting. This is a first disc of a 5 or 6 disc set that came crammed in this disc. So I got a free disc, and I actually had an extra sleeve, that empty one I was talking about in the previous video. So I stuffed it in this just to protect it. And disc played basically perfectly, except for the last minute or so. I had to get a little creative with it, but I managed to get it to finally save itself. But this isn't okay disc. It's kind of boring, but the whole set is already archived on YouTube. I didn't really need to archive it, but I'm glad I did, because it's still, my rip is better than the ones that are archived online. Better color, better sharpness, better audio, but the other guys got the entire set. I don't. I didn't even know the set existed until I looked it up after I got the disc. So, stay. This is my other 88 disc. This is the Corsica and Beretta disc. And this disc played perfectly, except for towards the end of one side, it's got some warpage in it. But it played, and I managed to save both sides totally fine. This is one of my favorites, and this is actually part 2 of a engine diagnosis set, and I've got part 2 right here. This introduces the 82 Corvette in it, and it also has NASCAR Story Part 3 and Part 4 on it, which was a video of Dave Marcus explaining all the features of a 1981-82 NASCAR race car. Dave Marcus just turned 85, by the way. He's still out there. He raced until he was 60 in 2002. And Dave's a very down-to-earth person. Still talks regularly about NASCAR and stuff. And I'd like to meet him one day, hopefully before age gets to him. Dave seems like a great man. But this was a very interesting disc because it's got all this diagnosis stuff, and then they include NASCAR stuff in it, which is weird. But this is the second disc, and I didn't know this was the second disc until I got it. So I had to get the first disc, and we'll talk about it when we get in this stack. This is disc number 3 to the Tough Chevy Trucks Taking Charge 83 set. And it played totally fine. So now I have all 3 of those discs too. Then in video number 1, we talked about this one. I got another one. And unlike the other one, the one that's the wrong disc in the sleeve, this is the right disc in this sleeve. And this is the engine story and all that stuff I didn't have in the last video. And this talks about the 82 Corvette again, and the engines and all this stuff. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat disc. Now, if you remember in the first video, I had a disc that looked like this, and it just had a black section here with some text here. This is the same disc, except it's dual-sided this time, and it has a ProServe disc in it. On the other side, service quality control system. I managed to use this to actually archive the disc that the end of it won't play. So, yeah, it's actually pretty neat. It's really weird because you can see that's a ProServe disc, and this is actually disc 2. Well, actually, it's just side 2 on this, I guess. I don't know. But this is a ProServe disc, and then this is side 1 of the other disc I have in there. Kind of weird. Now this one coming up, I archived about 2 weeks ago, I think. And it's really weird. This is the Series 10 Love 80s Chevy's truck disc and the competitive comparisons disc. There's so many things weird about this that I wanted to talk about it. First off, this is the strange thing. Both sides of the disc are side 1. They both have different GM markings on them. This is GM 144A, and this is GM 149A. This is basically 2 different sides slapped together from 2 different sets, and then they just made the cover match it. The weird thing is the GM 144A side, which is the competitive comparisons section. If we look on the back of this, there is a section right here that says Chevy Van Sport section. It's not on the disc. It stops right here. It never goes to here. It just stops playing. Also, one side is a classic DiscoVision disc where it wasn't pressed right and the lead-in doesn't work right. So you had to do it, this side had to do it in test mode. And this side played totally fine. Thank you, MCA. And this is the one that made me the most sick. I might be able to save it. But this was my first gatefold set disc I ever had. I didn't know GM even had a gatefold set, so now I've got a number of them. This is great artwork on this, too. I love the artwork on this. Well, disc 1 is really warped. It plays about 3/4 of the way through on both sides, and then just stops playing. The laser can't keep up. I might be able to flatten it. I will try to do that, but I couldn't get it to play all the way through. Disc 2 is rotten on top of being warped. So even when I flatten it, it's not going to play very well. It did play, though, but a lot of juicy stuff on this. All these videos just released in the last 4 days. This entire one is available to be seen now, and it's a good watch. It's just a weird mixture of cars and stuff. Weird, like disc 1 is talking about selling, but disc 2, well, side 2 is the small cars. Side 3 is for the regular sized passenger cars, and side 4 is the performance cars and racing. It's got a bunch of 86 racing stuff on it. It was really neat. And then it talks about the powertrain on side 4, and it cuts out halfway through the powertrain section, which had some awesome 80s stuff on it. But these right here are almost all of them that I've actually archived since the last video. But I wanted to mention this one too. The Chevy Performance System Truck Basics 1 and 2, working with the trucks and working with the truck's facts book. This is in its own plastic sleeve. And it has this booklet in it. This booklet is meant to be copied. You're supposed to be able to take it out, which I've taken it out and looked at it. It's pretty neat. It's got all the trucks and all the other stuff in it. Okay? Mint condition. You made a photocopy of all this stuff, and then you followed along with the book. It's even got cells pre-made sales documents and stuff on here to give you an idea of what to do. It's super cool. There's one example of it. Okay, real neat. Dated March 23rd, 1986. I mean, this is 40 years old, and it's in mint condition. The thing is, it was definitely sitting in a diesel shop because the inside was coated in diesel soot. It took me forever to get it clean, but it's perfect. Okay, there's still some soot on it here and there that I could not get off, but this disc came out perfectly and played perfectly. And it's a very interesting disc. Anyway, so now let's get to the stack I got today. This stack is the whole reason why it's taken me so long to film part 2. So let's get to it. All right, so the discs that I got in the mail today, I got these from 3 different sellers. We'll talk about each seller separately. The first set is from the first seller. Second set, I don't know where that one is. And then the third set. And we'll go through it piece by piece. So first off, we've got the Chevrolet product training and consumer information for the 80 Caprice, Impala, Monte Carlo, Malibu, Camaro, Monza, Chevette, and station wagons. This might look different than other discs, and this is because this is an early MCA disc in a pizza box. These were called pizza box enclosures, and wow, this has a lot of discs in it, and woo, there's some warpage on these. This is the first time I've opened this. Oh, cool. It's got all the paperwork. It's got, wow, it's got a list of everything that went in this, which is cool. Pizza box discs were produced in late 78, early through like early 79. This is an 80 model year disc, so this is probably the first and last pizza box set that GM ever had. Pretty neat. One of the reasons why they didn't do pizza boxes very long is, one thing, they easily fall apart. Secondly, they don't go back together very well. Thirdly, they're extremely fragile. And fourthly, they're extremely thick, where sleeves aren't. But this is a pizza box. So this is definitely isn't my oldest disc. Those ProServe discs from the first video are, but this is close. This is like made probably during the same month. So this is one of my oldest discs. I don't know if it will play in test mode or if it will play in normal mode, but I'm sure it will play, I hope. But this is very early MCA disco version, so it's a coin toss if it will play properly. Hopefully it will. This one I bought just because I thought it might be interesting. It's just a plain cover. It's something about understand. Okay, I bought this one for multiple reasons. One, stopping the shopper, showing you how to get the shopper to buy your car. And the other part is understanding women, basically. And that's another thing on that Osmo build disc earlier. The first section was selling to women, and kind of weird because the rest of it was just talking about the cars. But they made a lot of selling to women discs, which is interesting. This one, I'm not too sure if I don't already have this one, because this might be in the multi-set that's right here. But it's got a different part number on it, so it's probably not the same info. But this is another value you can count on set. I've got this one plus the one in this stack plus the blue and gold one from the previous video for the trucks. And this talks about Caprice, Malibu wagons, the computers, Monte Carlo Citation Camaro Chevette. Yeah, this might be a different disc. I don't think all that one was on the other one I archived. Let's see here. Is this? This is not. This one I got because this should also be talking about the 5.7 Ols. Should be pretty funny to watch. There were a few other Ols, diesels, being crammed into these cars around this time period that were more reliable, but I have a feeling this talks about the 5.7 because you need a disc to understand how to take the entire engine apart and try to reassemble it with all the gaskets that are nearly identical but all different. Really bad engine. I like the artwork on it, and I hope it plays really well. Now this is a disc 1 of 2. Sides 1 and 2 on this talks about the trucks, and then sides 3 and 4 talk about the SUVs and stuff. I don't have 3 and 4 yet, but I have it coming from this same seller. By the way, this seller cut me a great deal, and I thank you a whole lot there, man. I bought like $500 worth of discs for $300. And I don't have that kind of money, but I wanted to get these for the channel, so I got them anyway. So when set number 2, disc number 2 comes in, we'll probably archive these together. I've got a long time of archiving, so hopefully by then it will be in. This is another gatefold disc. Nothing works like a Chevy truck. 86 Chevy trucks. This is the 84 set, okay? This is basically the same set as this, only 2 years newer, okay? So this is a gatefold also. Pretty cool, and I think it will play nicely, I hope. And we got another women disc. Focus on the concerns of women service customers. It's going to be interesting to watch. A male-dominated section of dealerships and stuff, cars and all that stuff. You got to talk to the guys and understanding how to sell to women. Which is still a problem today, sadly. I think women should have equal opportunity and stuff and should be treated just like any other man, So, yeah, these are funny to watch because you can tell a lot of the people in this really don't know why they're in it. It's interesting, and I can't wait to watch this one. I actually have another one coming, identical to this. So if this one doesn't play well, the other one will, because I got that one in a set of 3, and I needed the other 2 sets. So I'm going to have 2 of this disc. So I hope it's a good disc to watch. Then we got the 7-point selling system for 84 Chevy cars. Then we got the 7-point selling systems for 85 Chevy cars. And this is also a gatefold. Pretty cool. Covers on these are awesome. I really like the covers on these. Then we got the 7-point selling system gatefold for 86 Chevy cars. AKA all this stuff that might just be repeated for all I know. But pretty neat covers. I like it. Here we go again. We got more of the 84 7-point selling system. This is the other half of the gatefold, I guess. This back before they were doing gatefolds. This one, I basically bought it just for the 80 medium-duty trucks because I had a childhood friend who bought a C70, which is right here, and then he bought a GMC Top Kick when I was a kid, which looks like this Kodiak right here, and I wanted to learn more things about them. It's really the main reason why I bought this disc. Plus, I like the cover. It's just so late 70s, early 80s. So, it's cool. Here's part 2 to the Dave Marcus sets. This has part 1 and part 2 of the NASCAR story. And this talks about all the diesel engines available for 82. So this was the year before. Well, actually, no, this has the 6.2 Detroit in it. So this should cover the 6.2, the 1.8, and the 2.2. This doesn't have the Olds 5.7 in it at all, which is a good thing. 6.2 Detroit was a very good engine. Now, this comes from the second seller. This one I bought for one reason and one reason only, because I have so many warranties discs, but this one is super lightweight, and there's a reason. This is only half a disc. I've never had one of these. This side looks like a normal disc. Okay? Because it is. It's a normal disc. This side just has white acrylic on it. Look how nice and shiny and so white, and it's just pure and perfect. And I only bought it because the blank side is a piece of white acrylic, which was a thing that they did. Pioneer and 3M. This is the Pioneer disc. Pioneer and 3M did that, but it was a very rare thing to see. Usually you didn't see it on movie discs. I've never had a laser disc with a white blank side on it until today. So, pretty neat. Now here is from the third seller. Ford discs. These are my first Ford discs. And this one's really neat. This one's still factory sealed, and it's got the letter. All Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers enrolled in the Ford Video Communications Network. That's who it's to. And this is, the subject is non-ECC related drivability diagnosis and 1987 new model service features video discs. And Ford apparently just used regular plastic wrap to seal these. This is still sealed. I will be opening this. It's got some damage on it. It looks like it sat in a moist environment. Hopefully it's okay. But I mainly bought it because it came with the original letter and everything on it, which is pretty neat. Oh, and that's another thing. 1 second. From the already archived discs, I forgot to mention something. This came with all the original paperwork, too. Isn't it neat? And there's 2 of these. But this is supposed to go into a binder. But it came with all the... this is the answer sheet, it looks like, for training. And this is the actual tests for the people who watched the disc. So I got the original paperwork for that, too, which is cool. Anyway, back to the Ford discs. We have another Video Communications Network disc here. And this is Real People Focus on Quality Care. Look at quality care selling in close-up. Now, that's another thing I forgot to mention. When I mentioned that GM discs are upside down, I don't know if these are upside down or right side up. But Chrysler discs are right side up, like a normal laser disc. Except for one of the ones I converted, that gray disc from this stack here, with the Omni and all that stuff on it, it was labeled upside down like a GM disc. And that one threw me off because I started playing it the proper side and it was the wrong side. So I don't know if these are upside down or right side up, but I would say the right side up, unlike the GM discs. I'd say they use different players, unlike the GM systems did. So we'll see. But yeah, this is another Ford disc. Another Videos Communications. All the front covers were the same, basically, for a long time. As we can see here, here's another one that looks just like that one. You know, It was the back cover that explained what the disc was, and it must have been really annoying on a shelf because the sides, the spines are not marked or anything. So if you need to find the disc, they all look the same on the edge. Good job, Ford. But this is the trial of employee involvement, the people factor. Sounds fascinating. Here's a 1988 Ford New Model Features disc, which the disc is falling out of right now. Another video communications network. This has basically all the trucks for 88, including all the engines and stuff on it. Then we've got another video communications network disc. And this is for the 1990 service features for the new models. So that should be interesting. And this one should be, as we can see, it's another one with the, how can you tell it from the, on the shelf? But yeah, it's, you know, actually the backing on these are stickers. They just slapped the label on it. So they must have had these sleeves mass produced and they slapped a label on them. Wow, Ford. But anyway, this is the performance disc for 86, I think. And it's got like the SVO Mustang and a bunch of other stuff on it. Should be fun to watch. But yeah, that's all the discs I have for now. I've got a few in the mail still, which I'm looking forward to seeing. And yeah, that's the stack. That's everything I've gotten since the last video in late January. And this whole stack right here will be converted within the next week. It's a good hefty stack. A very heavy, painful stack. I just crushed all my fingernails. But yeah, that's the discs. So let's wrap up the video. So yeah, that is my collection of GM and Ford and Chrysler laser discs that I currently have. And yeah, it's a labor of love to archive these. Some of them archive great, and some of these archive horribly. And I'll tell you what, skipping is one thing that really, really bugs me. The disc will get into laser lock, which means it gets stuck in a groove. And you've got to literally jump next to the player to get it to jump the groove and get it to play again. And editing those videos are a pain because it's a lot of stuttering. And then, yeah, you've got to fix the stuttering. It gets old very fast. But yeah, that is my current collection. I hope you guys enjoyed part 2 of the video. I will be going back to doing normal videos again on my main channel very soon, but I'm still recovering from all my heart issues and stuff I've had lately. So this is a great way to do all that while I get stronger again, because walking next door is not exactly something I like to do. And after my last short I did talking about my heart issues, that day nearly killed me just from tiredness. It didn't physically try to kill me, but I was extremely tired after that. And 2 days later, I'm still recovering. So it's taking some time, but I will get better. So please, guys, please like and subscribe. If you're on my main channel, please don't forget to join the memberships and all that stuff, or etc., etc. I do have the Patreon and all that stuff. And yeah, this has been a great video. I'm very happy how the filming turned out on it. It's going to get me going again, hopefully. So please like and subscribe, and please do anything you need to do. Please support me if you can. And that's the end of today's video. This has been a Wrecking Motors video.
Subscribe to Wrecking Motors. Hurricane Motors. Subscribe to Hurricane Motors.